Basic Bill Bigot. What dumb shit would Bill Bigot say today?
Let's talk about it. The position, look, other countries have national health services. The Democratic position is leave it up to parents, doctors. Just leave. It's not the government's decision. That's the Democratic position. What's wrong with that position?
Wait, say that again?
The Democratic position, right? Joe Biden.
Well, the Democratic position in this state has been that the school has the right to hide it from the parents.
Like every other bigot through history, he's making that same demonization argument. He's ignoring facts. It's just a complete mischaracterization because he's a basic, stupid-ass, dumbass bigot. I'd punch him in the mouth if I was in the room with him. I wouldn't be able to resist because I'm one of those we're obligated to punch Nazis type guys. So I would straight up drill him in the mouth for the shit that he has said about the queer community and his bad takes. But no. The situation is, if the child lives in a home where coming out endangers the child's safety, in that instance, the school can, you can come out to the school and they won't out you to your parents. They will put you in touch with social services. But see, he's leaving that part out. He's making it seem as if the schools are doing this nefarious thing to gay up the kids. It's dishonest as hell. And he does deserve to be punched in the mouth for it. He really does.
That is something that is not going to go well with the average voter. And again,
it's not going to go well with someone dumb enough to believe what you're saying.
And I'm not even a parent.
Which that person will be bigoted, just like you.
And I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I think the governor here used the
That's another lie. Bill Maher does not think.
Word snitch. Now, if I'm wrong, I didn't say it.
So
I think I read that.
So there are delicate problems here. But wait, there's delicate problems here, and there's a delicate problem where you have a kid, all right, who is either non-binary or trans, who feels scared at home, feels unsafe at home. Those things do happen in the world. There are things that happen in the world. But for the most part, that's not what we're talking about. For the most part, what we're talking about is a teenager who has felt that they are they have a gender dysmorphia. So what they feel like is that they feel deeply unhappy, depressed.
I guarantee you Bill's going to push his, but they're trying to turn the kids trans. Bullshit.
All really rampant.
Yes,
and they go to their parents.
They feel that, and then they blame it on the thing that has been put in their mind way too much.
What did I say? What did I say? It's been put in their mind. I guarantee you what he's going to do, he's going to make that same, I can already tell, he's going to make that same bigoted argument that used to be made about the gays, that, oh, but these kids, they're young and they're impressionable and they're confused. And then these gay people prey on them and put these ideas of gayness in their heads and make them gay.
Much that it may be because of you're in the wrong body, to put it properly.
But they might be. Do you know how you find out? You find out the same way you find out if you're a football player. The same way you find out if you're good at chess. The same way you find out if you're gay. The same way you find out if you're straight. As a matter of fact, this is amazing. A lot of people don't understand this. But if you created a Venn diagram that a Venn diagram of, I guess, comparing, contrasting, what have you, the way a Venn diagram works, of the primary method in discovering whether you're heterosexual, homosexual, and, we'll even throw in, even though it doesn't have to do with sex. Well, no. No, you're right, that doesn't work. But anyway, how you find out if you're homosexual and heterosexual. Venn diagram would just be one big circle with the word sex in the middle. That's how kids have always found out growing up. They get these feelings and then they experiment and then they either like it or they don't. And it's the same thing with being trans. They start thinking they're trans. So, let them indulge, let them experiment. It either sticks or it doesn't. Big fucking deal. It's not like anybody's like gonna go ahead and give this kid like the full operation, because like even adults have to go through like a years long process before it even gets to that point. So once again, Bill is mischaracterizing the whole fucking thing because he's biased, because he's a bigot.
Probably wrongly, but
Sure.
that we understand what that means. Okay. Now it could be,
You go ahead, you put on the makeup and you dress a certain way and da-da-da-da, and you do your thing for a bit, and it either sticks or it doesn't. But here's the thing. And here's the thing that's really uncomfortable for bigots, the thing that bigots can't handle, the truth that kills them, is that allowing a kid to experiment with being gay or trans or even a drag queen, it's no different than allowing them to experiment with being cisgender and heterosexual. It's a matter of experimentation. And allowing the kid to indulge and experiment is far superior than denying them the ability to. Why? Because allowing them to indulge and experiment is not only the healthy way for them to learn about themselves, it will allow them to have a much happier life. And it has the side effect of resulting in fewer bigots and less prejudice moving forward. The reason being gay is so acceptable today is because my generation rejected your bigoted bullshit and embraced homosexuality, reveled in it. My generation even ended up creating a funny term to describe girls who experimented, calling them lugs, lesbian until graduation. It goes along with that joke about I experimented in college. But yeah. And it made it more acceptable, and it has created a healthier, happier world for gay people. And the side effect of that is, as that umbrella of protection extends, it makes the people standing next to them feel safer about coming out. And you start to see more and more trans people. They've always been there. It's just they were forced to do a much better job of concealing themselves. But now they feel safer being open with it, which as a consequence, or I say as a plus, a very pleasant consequence, kids get to experiment and indulge safely in that type of environment. And you have fewer instances of teens, you know, harming themselves, indulging in different degrees of self-harm. You know, much better to indulge in sex than to indulge in self-harm. And the really cool thing about kids experimenting with gay sex is, you know, you don't end up, you know, like with a 16-year-old making a baby. So it's even like less risky. But yeah, that's all it is. And it's driving him crazy because it's like, oh my God, these kids are being No, they're just feeling safe. Nobody's being recruited or groomed. And that's the thing. He's trying to avoid saying the word groom. But that's what he wants to say because that's what he's thinking. So it's being put in their heads. Yeah, yeah, you don't want to say the word grooming because you know the worst trash on the planet has latched onto that word. And deep down inside, you know you're a trashy bigot. You know you shouldn't exist. You know you're a piece of shit. But here you are, a coward, a fragile, scared, weak, little half-man coward.
Be that case. When Trump said there's only two sexes, again, pendulum swinging way too far to stupidity, okay? Obviously, sex is more complicated than just two sexes.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who absolutely, you know, are quote-unquote in the wrong body. But when you're a kid, when even a teenager, and you're that confused about everything and you have no idea.
What did I say? What did I say? He's doing the grooming. All right, I predicted it. I said he was going to do the group because I've heard him do it on the show. He's done this same exact speech, almost word for word, on his show. And if I remember correctly, I forget who the guest was, but I believe they tried to accuse him of, yo, you mean to say grooming or something to that effect? And he's like, no, because he's a fragile little cowardly little trash man.
And you're upset for many other reasons. The idea that they put it, let me just finish.
Put it in their head, grooming. No one's putting, the only thing that's been put in the kid's head is that if you're having those feelings, it is safe to explore them and question them and analyze them and indulge them. If you're having those feelings, it's okay. It's fine. It's safe. And what Bill is doing is trying to make the kid think, oh, I've been groomed. And then that leads to self-harm, which is why if I was in the room with him, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to let you finish. But when you're done, I just need you to know that I'm going to knock the fuck out of you.
I'm not saying it.
I know. I could see you were ready. I could see you pulling back the bow. And the fact
Bo? No, I'd be cracking my knuckles. I'd be rearing back my fist.
that they put this in their head too much. That's my...
No. See, put this in their head too much. He's too cowardly and trashy to say grooming. That's what he's describing. That's what he wants to say. But he knows that Trump trash says that. Well, guess what? You know, you're like, you know, like a half inch at best from being Trump trash. You piece of shit. Basic fucking bigot. Basic fucking trash bigot. And the reason he needs to be beat up is because his type of talk has resulted in the self-harm of so many children. You want to talk about the safety of children? Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to keep the children safe, then walk into a gym, an MMA gym, and go up to the biggest guy there and tell him to hit you as hard as he can in the mouth so that your jaw will no longer work. That will keep kids safe if you can no longer speak. That keeps kids safe. Less of you not existing, that keeps kids safe.
Thing. Should you tell a kid, look, there's a default setting for humans, male and female, but there are variations. That's absolutely true.
Yes. Yes, you should tell a kid that. if the kid is asking about that, if that's the issue, because once again, he's being dishonest. He's making a dishonest argument. Well, should you tell a kid this? Well, it depends on what the kid just asked you. If the kid just asked if they could stay up an hour late, well, no, that's probably not the conversation you should be having. But if the kid is coming up to you and telling you, hey, you know, like if they were assigned male at birth and they come up to you and say, I feel more like a girl, or if they were assigned female at birth and they're like, I feel more like a boy. Well, then, yeah, that's the time to have that conversation. And yes, you should absolutely tell them that. You should say, well, you know, like people consider the default to be like male and female, but that's really honestly just, you know, like far sides of the spectrum. There's like a whole lot of stuff in between, and that's probably you.
Some people are attracted to people of their own sex, and some people are actually in the quote-unquote wrong body, and that does happen. But the amount that they...
Grooming. He doesn't want to say grooming because he knows trash people say grooming. You're just a trashy person, Bill. Accept that you're a trashy person. Transition fully and embrace your true self, Bill.
Emphasize this. I compared it once on my show to entrapment.
So
see, there you go.
I disagree.
That's another reason why he needs to be beat up, because he's trying to do the self-righteous. Oh, I'm the old wise man, and anything you say or do, it's just confrontational and wrong. He's already setting it up. Let's just put it in layman's terms. He's sucking his own dick right now, or he's trying real hard to, but it's too small because he is the essence of small dick energy.
I'm sorry, is that not the end? Is it? I thought entrapment had a period at the end.
Could I explain it?
Yes,
though?
explain. I mean, I think we all get it, but yeah, explain it. Entrapment.
I don't think everybody does get it.
Okay, explain it.
No,
okay.
Well, I just explained it. I just explained his whole take. I can just let it run from here, and he's going to do and say everything I said.
What is entrapment? Entrapment is when you suggest something to people that they weren't ordinarily going to do. I use the example of...
He's saying entrapment because he's too chicken shit to say grooming.
After 9/11, the FBI got caught basically entrapping some people, which is what they went to people who were excuse me, I'm not done.
All right, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. Honestly, that was rude. That was rude. That was rude. Bill, finish. You're explaining how being trans is like being recruited into Al-Qaeda.
Well, that's glib and
absolutely 100% glib. Stupid and glib.
It is.
Yes.
Because
it's not stupid, because he's literally, I've heard him do this story before. He's literally going to say that.
Because it's not true.
Right.
And you didn't even let me get through the
You're
thing.
right.
And now I got to go.
You're just going to leave? We're in the middle of a debate.
Yeah.
Because he's a cowardly chicken shit. Cowardly chicken shit.
No, okay, I'll finish this. Entrapment, like, okay, so they go to somebody, they go to a group of guys. They did this in a group of poor black guys in Miami, and were unhappy with America. And hey, wouldn't it be great if we blew up the Sears Tower in Chicago? And these guys didn't even have a gun. And it's like, yeah, I hate America, or I got problems with America. That does sound kind of cool. And hey, well, we can get you the explosives. That's entrapment. Okay, you put an idea in people's heads that wouldn't.
He is batshit. See, that's even dumber than the Al-Qaeda thing. That's even dumber. That's an even dumber comparison. This is so... How does that... See what he's doing? He's doing the grooming thing. He's saying that a trans... an old, just like what the bigots of yesteryear used to do. Oh, these old gays are grooming young kids to tricking them into becoming gay. Entrapment. It's the same thing he's saying. And he's doing it as old trans people. He's just moved it to the next group. He's moved the slide.
Been there otherwise. Do I think in most of America they did that in schools? I don't. But I think in enough of them, in enough...
Oh, there are schools grooming kids to be trans. He needs to be beat up. That's the problem with so many people like him. He went through life being allowed to say all the things. I mean, not necessarily beat up, but he's gone through life being able to say whatever the fuck he wants without any repercussions. There's no fear of consequences because he's never been truly held accountable.
Far left places, they did constantly.
I mean, even when he dropped the N-word on fucking television and had Ice Cube sitting right next to him and he was supposed to do an apology, he still really didn't. He never accepted that he was in the wrong for saying what he said. He still tried to do but don't you guys do it in your songs?
They have this idea in the minds of children that maybe you're not in the right body. I mean, the New England Journal of Medicine.
If that's how the kid feels, then that's the conversation you have. Nobody is going up to a kid that's like, I don't think I want to play football. Well, maybe you're trans. Nobody is doing that. He's creating this imaginary boogeyman because he's a bigot who needs to be beat up.
Advocated for taking sex off of a birth certificate. I believe it was like you're assigned sex.
Assigned sex at birth.
Assigned.
Yeah,
you're assigned.
I think that's right.
I was assigned it by my dick. Okay, when I was born.
See, that's just such a basic. See. He sounds exactly like a MAGA chud because deep down, like I said, he's about an inch removed from them.
Yes, and again, to tell kids it doesn't always have to be and isn't always the default setting, but that's a different mentality than they put in the minds of kids. And that's why this debate goes on. And
that makes no sense. See what he's doing? He's just too chicken shit to say grooming. This is the mentality they put in the heads of No. He just made that all up.
The fact that you think, or a lot of people on the left think that even if you just have this debate, it makes you a bigot.
Now, immediately flips it. I did not see that one coming. But that's what all the MAGA chuds do. They immediately flip to victimhood before you even get to do your rebuttal. They immediately flip to victimhood. Oh, you're going to call me a bigot just for having this discussion. And then he's going to try, watch. The chicken shit will try to characterize any amount of pushback this guy gives as being that, see, that's just proof I'm right.
You just have to roll over. That was, you asked about the Biden administration. That was their position.
There's no rolling over. It's like when someone says, dude, like, you're wrong, and that was bigoted to say, oh, you're attacking me, and you just expect me to roll over. He's such a chicken shit.
If you even question this, you're some sort of a bigot. And
no, he's a bigot because he says bigoted things. A question about it would be like, well, what's it like? What does this go into? See, he has never even like had a conversation with a doctor who could explain it to him. All of his takes just come from the shit that he's heard from MAGA chuds, the shit he reads on fucking Twitter, the shit he hears from his friends in his insulated little world.
This is new science, and it has to do with children, and it's not going to look good in the future, that position.
Can I just...
If I was in the room with him, I would say, What does the present look like for all the people who made the same exact argument you just made, only about the gays? What does the present look for all those people in the past who did that?
Just respond to something.
Now you can.
Now I can respond. All right. Can you just All right. Let's just do. There's a lot. You definitely said your piece.
Just say your bullshit while I'm in the bathroom.
Just stay for 1 second.
Okay, I'm kidding.
Unbelievable.
I'm kidding.
All right. No, I know. Okay. A lot of things there. First of all, oof. This is going to sound confrontational. For a long time, people said, older gay people are recruiting kids to be gay. And they wouldn't really be gay. It was they were being recruited, they were being groomed, that they were being drawn. That was the conservative position. The Christian right position for a long time was the reason you didn't want to have gay teachers is they're going to recruit. That the gay lifestyle is going to look so enticing and so exciting that it's going to bring these poor defenseless boys, they mostly boys, into the gay lifestyle and destroy their lives. But of course that wasn't true. Really, all gay teachers were an example.
Right. Yeah.
Look, there are a few examples of people getting older and realizing that they shouldn't have transitioned. That happens. It's real. That's real.
Yeah, more than a few.
But there are also...
He can't let go of the bigotry. The bigotry controls him like a worm in his brain.
So really important surgeries that people get for their heart, and they go wrong, and somebody dies. And nobody says we must stop the cardiologists. No one says we must stop the surgeons. We say, let's...
That's your analogy?
Well, my analogy is only that...
Well, your analogy was recruiting people to blow up the Sears Tower? Being trans is recruiting people to blow... That was your analogy? What the fuck? See how narcissistic and aloof this motherfucker is? Bigotry connected to low intellect and narcissism.
Let me finish.
I'm just...
Can I finish?
Yes.
Is it my turn to talk?
No. You're right.
And what you say is, let's make sure that this version of it is being practiced well. We don't get rid of the specific surgery. We don't throw out a whole field of medicine. We say, let's make sure we're doing it in a way that's healthy. The science, the research, all right, makes clear that, yes, there are exceptions. Yes, there are people practicing it in ways that maybe go too far. But for the most part, study after study shows that gender-affirming care saves... I'm talking. It's my turn. I was so quiet for so long after I interrupted a few times.
But okay.
But once I stopped talking, boy, I was good at it. And that gender-affirming care saves a lot of lives. And the truth is, we talk about these edge cases.
Here's what we know. We know for a fact that gender-affirming care saves lives. We know for a fact that denial of gender-affirming care costs lives. So you're just fucking wrong, Bill.
Cases talk about athletes, talk about locker rooms, but for the most part, what we're talking about is a very small group of people that just want the opportunity to live and express themselves. And there is a war on that group of people from the right to make salient extreme cases, edge cases, not for the purposes of stopping those, but for doing what the Trump administration is doing entirely, which is...
Bill. Literally, thank you. Bill is literally making me say the exact word for word, save for the word grooming. He says entrapment and recruiting. He compares having an honest conversation with a kid questioning whether or not they might be trans with recruiting a kid or entrapping a kid to become a terrorist or... Oh, God. I can't even make sense of his comparison. It's so fucking stupid. Like what? Adam Savage calls not even wrong.
Just stopping all gender affirming care altogether and making trans people fucking nervous when they have to pee at the airport, right? Which is the end result of all this.
And of course, that's awful, and I agree with all that, except the part about the studies. There was a very big story this year. It was in the front page of the New York Times. A woman, I forget her name, and she had done, like it was a 10-year study, did not release it on purpose because she said it would weaponize the argument from the other side. So in other words, it came out not the way you wanted the study to come out.
Yeah.
Not what you said, that it's, all the studies show that. No, it is a mixed bag. That's true.
Okay.
Some people, yes, it's the right thing. But to take that risk at that age before you know shit about anything.
He's being dishonest again and trying to act as if the children are getting the full procedure that adults get, but even adults have to go through years of slow transitioning. And they're even made to see a therapist to make sure they're doing it right. The amount of detransitioning is practically non-existent.
Yes, sometimes it's pretty obvious that this should. It's a very hard call to make. And again, this was a very long study, very thorough, and they wouldn't release it because it came out with the wrong conclusion.
But no, I know the study, and he's mischaracterizing the conclusion.
The reason but because it is a hard question, because
Right.
it is a serious question.
Right.
It is a personal question. I don't want Donald Trump deciding. I want parents and doctors.
Well, you just said parents can get shut out.
Well, I don't think parents should get shut out. There are rare exceptions to that. Look, we all believe that parents should have.
Once again, he can't. Bill just cannot be honest. It's not. He does not have the capacity to be honest. Well, you said that parents should be shut out. No, he didn't. I would have looked him square in his eye and say, why are you lying about me right to my face? What makes you so bold to think you can do that?
The decisions over their children, but we also recognize that some parents do such a bad fucking job that the kids are in danger. That happens outside of trans issues. That happens all the time. It's terrible. Some parents are fucking terrible. Somehow the fact that there are terrible parents in the world gets erased on these questions. Do I think that schools should, as a baseline, be keeping a secret from parents?
And it does. It gets erased on this because he is so bigoted. Bill would rather that kid get beat to death than to admit he's wrong. That's the kind of trash Bill Maher is.
Of fucking course not. No one thinks that.
Well,
no one thinks that.
Apparently that's not true. People do think that.
No, he's lying. Oh my God. He lies more than Donald Trump.
Let's get this going. There, ready. We're all set. Now, to begin, tell me, what do you see?
I don't know.
Okay. Try this. Focus on your vision.
No, it's happening. No, no, it's too late. It's too late now. They're coming.
Here we go. Leg.
Let's get this going. There, ready. We're all set. Now, to begin, tell me, what do you see?
I don't know.
Okay. Try this. Focus on your vision.
No, it's happening. No, no, it's too late. It's too late now. They're coming. Did you feel it too?
Take your stuff. We're getting out of here. We've got a problem.
Call them back.
What's going on?
It's the prince. We must go quickly.
Come on. Damn it. Hurry up.
Calm down. Maybe it has nothing to do with the party.
You know full well I was in charge of it. If anything goes wrong, it's my head on the chopping block. Fuck! Damn it! It took Hazel months to convince the Hartford Chantry to ally themselves with us. So they finally accept, and then bam, a code red. There's never been a code red in Boston, damn it! This has gotta be bad, MM.
Dialogue. In a dialogue, some answers require the use of your skills. Your skill level is compared with that of your opponent. The higher rating wins. You cannot use a skill if its rating is 0. Using a skill consumes willpower. If your opponent wins, you gain a few willpower at the end of the dialogue. Okay.
It's not like you had anything to do with it. I'm sure.
You don't get it. I was in charge of organizing the party.
But security is Jara's problem.
Yeah,
normally.
except Jara is a member of the Primogen. I'm not.
But you're a harpy. The prince will cover you. You know she's always looking for an excuse to take him down a notch.
We'll see.
What do we do next?
When everyone's safe, we move on to phase 2. We clean house.
What do you mean by we clean house?
Getting rid of our archives, our documents, anything that might betray our network and relationships.
Did you say this is the first code red in Boston?
Ever since the fall of London, protocol is no longer a laughing matter.
Whatever. They've been harping on that for 4 years now. They took away our internet access. Our smartphones.
It's called risk mitigation, that's all. A code red is an alarm signal that's sent to everyone to say, watch out, we're all in danger. And everyone runs to shelter at the nearest safe house. For us, it's with the prince. It could have been worse.
I'd have preferred worse.
You're not even listening to me.
What comes after phase 2?
Just pray that it never comes to that.
Come on, tell me.
We run. We leave everything behind and we go into hiding. As far from here as we can.
There's no way I'm leaving Boston. Everything I have is right here in this city. It took me years to build my clubs. I've worked too hard to give it up now.
You won't have a choice. I know you hate coming here. Are you gonna be all right?
What do you think? I know how to behave, Jay.
Yeah, I know. Just keep your cool and it'll be fine.
Ah, my little darlings. You're here at last. The fear that something horrible had happened to you terrified me.
No call for theatrics, April.
The prince asked to see you as soon as you arrived, Amim. I wouldn't dilly-dally if I were you. As for you, Journey, someone's triggered a code red. If anything has happened over there, I'll hold you personally responsible.
Okay. Vampires have supernatural abilities usually inherited from their clan disciplines. Some disciplines can be used dialogues with skills higher. Not all disciplines are available to all vampires. Some mortals may possess certain powers, although most have no defense against symptoms. Generates hunger. Why would I do it if it's got a 0% chance? Will it let me do? Nope.
You know, back in the day, nobody could bat an eyelash without you knowing about it. You must know exactly what Jay is being blamed for, don't you?
Imem. My dear Imem. I adore you. Really, I do. But darling, please. You're way out of your league here. This alliance with the Hartford Chantry is crucial. The prince is on edge. We can't get through to anyone over there.
What does this have to do with Jay?
She was in charge of the whole thing, for goodness sake. Listen, both of you. From now on, I don't want to hear another word out of either of you. The prince is furious. Journey, you're coming with me.
I don't see why.
And as for you, Hazel wants to see you. Right now.
It's gonna be a long night.
Oh.
Miss Lewis, welcome.
Consider it done. That'll do.
Who's she, Caleb?
Emem Lewis.
She smiles like a toreador.
Letters etched in bold right upon her teeth.
What about that bearded guy who's swallowing his bile?
Dejan Siaka.
A Tremere warlock, then?
Keep him at a healthy distance. With a sideward glance, he could make the blood in your veins boil.
Is court attendance usually this sparse?
Under ordinary circumstances, there would be more of us here.
Is it because of the Code Red?
Could be. We should have all been at that party. But a Code Red is a Code Red. No one can leave. I'd hate to be Caius right about now.
Why?
He's second honcho of house security. This promises to be a busy night.
I know what you mean. It's one thing to have been told that the Nosferatu don't age well. It's another thing to see it for yourself.
It's by no fault of their own.
Do you think you'll be able to ask the prince tonight if you can embrace me?
No. Now is no longer the time.
And he is your child?
Mr. Beryl Underwood.
Shark. Raise members of the Primogen. That's tough. That's tough. They're both great.
He is tortured by a demon. We all have one. The beast that preys upon him is a love of money. If someone held a stake to his heart and cried your money or your unlife, he'd ask you for some time to think it over.
It's his greed, then, that cost him your favor?
Everything about him was disappointment. Never forget that the court is a chessboard. We are monsters, and we sacrifice pawns. If you want to be a major piece, then behave accordingly.
But...
Nothing can happen to you here. We're in the prince's house. She must be finished by now. Wait for me. This won't take long.
It's out of the question, MM! I won't let her get away with this!
All right. Calm down, Dijon.
Where's Journey?
What's it to you?
Don't start with me. She was in charge of the party. She has to take responsibility for this.
Leave her out of it.
It's too late for that. Don't waste your time covering for her. She's not a kid anymore. I haven't heard from my child, and no one's able to get through to them over there.
Go on then. Go and save Imani and stop wasting your breath.
There are rules. Need I remind you? We're all stuck here.
You're such a good boy.
You'll never change.
Dijon!
What? Oh, come on, Hilda, she needs to grow up.
Leave us.
I don't need your help.
Mem, please.
Stop calling me that.
I was worried about you.
You still haven't moved on, have you? You're always getting in my way.
Lower your voice. People are staring.
Skill miss. Okay, focus allows you to temporarily increase the skill by 1 or 2 levels. The more you increase your focus, the more the will parry cost increases. To be focused, skill must have a minimum score of 1 point. Skill or discipline levels are the same. The outcome is uncertain. The chance of victory can be.
you know what this code red is all about? You're in the Primogen. You must know something.
I'm in the same boat as the rest of you. Apparently, it was from one of Moore's retainers. That's all I know.
Who's that?
Jason Moore. Don't you remember him? He's the human who manages our interests when the sun comes up. He handles our assets, errands with the banks.
What does he have to do with this?
I don't know. It now seems that Miss Hazel Iverson, the mighty Prince of Boston, is no longer on speaking terms with the Primogen. As if now were the ideal time.
She asked to see me. Do you know why?
My best guess is that she'd like to talk to you about Journey, of course. I always warned you that girl was trouble.
Yeah, sure. I've gotta go. Hazel must be upstairs. I'd better hurry.
What about Jara? I haven't seen her.
Councillor Drury is not here, nor is Dr. Dunham. Mr. Leto's teams are trying to reach them, but...
Nobody's answering?
No. Did you want something?
They've all got such long faces. Hey, Abby.
Hey, Mem.
Abby, do you know what's going on?
I'm sorry, but I can't.
Please? I feel like I've been plopped down in the middle of a minefield.
There are rumors about Journey. Rumors about how this is all her fault. Did you know that Jay was in charge of the party?
Shit. I bet she's gonna take the fall for whatever happened.
I don't think she's involved, but we've got to be on our guard.
Ma'am, we haven't seen you here in ages now, have we?
It's not like I'm doing everything I can to stay the hell away from here.
Blunt and to the point, as usual. With a bit of luck, your suffering will be over soon. How's business these days?
Why? You wanna invest?
Don't tempt me.
I'm shocked to think you put so much as a penny into one of my clubs. They don't bring in enough for your taste, Beryl.
You're right. I'm not interested in them. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to be alone. I'm waiting for Caleb.
Can I help you?
What is taking so long?
What a shitty night. Hazel must be pissed. What the hell could she want with me?
everything okay, Mom? Penny for your thoughts?
Nothing, Pumpkin. What were you saying?
You saw pictures again? You're not going back to the Institute, are you?
No, don't fret. I'm gonna stay here with you now.
I don't like it when Richard takes you away.
He's my psychiatrist. He's helping me so I can be with you.
Mom has a little trouble sometimes, remember?
I see things that haven't happened yet. And I forget others.
Yes, I know. And you have to slumber so you can rest all alone sometimes. But 3 years was too long.
But now we'll be together forever.
We'll be inseparable.
Like 2 peas in a pod.
Yes, exactly.
Mom? What's going on? Why does everybody look so upset?
I think something serious is happening. I'm worried. I still haven't seen Richard. I looked for him so he could explain, but he can't be found.
So, what do we do now?
I was told to wait here, because Hazel wants to see us.
There are grown-ups coming, and your mother needs to talk to them.
Oh, then I'll go hide, because grown-ups talk to me too much.
If you want, sweetie. But don't wander off. Go on.
Show me what you do to make sure no one spots you.
Okay, here I go.
Leisha. It's been a while.
Hey, MM.
When did you get out?
Just tonight. Hazel wanted to see me.
That means she's extremely worried about the situation.
That, or she's a major drama queen.
You shouldn't make light of the situation, believe me. There aren't many of us who have experienced a code red and survived.
Thanks for the heads up, Professor Bazori. First Siaka, now you. Why won't anybody give me a break tonight?
Maybe you asked for it.
Or maybe if you behaved in a manner more appropriate to the circumstances and our setting, then you'd better understand why everyone is so nervous.
Siaka jumped down my throat. Was I supposed to let him take his nerves out on me? No, I'm sorry. That's not how things work, Bazori.
We must all remain calm and accept any help we can get, even from the most unusual sources.
Surprising to hear. Coming from a blue blood. At least your certainties come from a more solid source than a prophecy from a child of Malkov.
You don't know what you're talking about.
All I'm saying is that whatever the problem is, your hallucinations aren't gonna help us solve it.
We're all in danger. When I awoke, I sensed a threat everywhere, all around us. I've never felt anything like it.
Please, explain.
It was as if we were all going to disappear into chaos. But you're probably right. It's just Hazel and her flair for the dramatic.
Only time will tell.
Good evening, ladies, sir. The prince shall see you now.
Advice from the diva who likes the best night. Bring light into a world where he's gonna be perilous and knows this, but she doesn't care. Profile. Knowledge skills that allows you to go undercover, explore information. Profile focus on improvement, introduce large selection skills, allows for maximum number of interactions with this mastery. Well, focus on dialogue and physical. Spent your sheet discipline sheet. Each attribute affects specifics. Attributes increase the chance of victory in case of time. Decreases the willpower cause focus. Use of knowledge skills cannot be improved. Okay. Discipline sheet contains disciplines. Festive discipline, increase the level, and can provide additional powers. Discipline powers can be passive, maybe used in dialogue or exploit. Oh.
Hazel. Delsin. Come in, MM.
I wanted to have a word with you.
What can I do for you?
I'm glad you're here. It's been a long time since we last saw each other. Tell me, where were you tonight?
Like everybody else, I suppose. At home, getting ready for the party.
How fortunate you weren't running early.
Why? What's happened?
You know what the Code Red means. There was a breach. This is intolerable. These agreements were supposed to celebrate the power of my court. Instead, I've been made to look a fool in the eyes of my allies. We'll have to increase our diplomatic efforts with the Warlocks. Send new emissaries to Osborne.
What's that got to do with me?
Don't you worry about that for now. We have more urgent matters to attend to.
We?
Bring Journey to me.
She hasn't done anything. Hazel.
I'll be the judge of that.
What do you want with her?
I have a few questions I need to ask her. If mistakes were made, I need to know what happened. I'm sure that your friend will have a lot to tell me.
Yes, my prince. I'll be right back.
I didn't bring you here just for that. I have something to offer you.
I'm listening.
It's about the Primogen Council. You know everyone who's in it. Beryl, Richard, Hilda. Their support was much appreciated after the disappearance of the previous prince.
Quentin King.
But now, they've become an obstacle. It's been going on for months. They systematically oppose everything that I do. It must stop now. The Camarilla has faced many challenges in the past few years. Many of our strongholds have fallen. I won't let Boston suffer the same fate, but for that, I need loyal allies. Also, how would you like a spot in the Primogen?
What?
You've always taken care of your community, MM, without ever asking for anything in return. It might be time you took a leading role in the community's affairs.
Hilda won't let you do it. She'll never see me as her equal. Being seated next to her child? She'll feel humiliated.
I'm her prince. She will obey me.
She's not gonna like it.
I don't care. What I'm offering is much bigger than all that. What do you think?
I don't know. I need to think about it.
Time is of the essence. You're a businesswoman, MM. I know you'll be up to it, but we'll talk about it again soon. In the meantime...
I know. Jay, I'm going to go see Sylvia first. I need to clear my head.
Do it. You won't be able to hunt tonight. It's better to be prepared. Bring me Journey.
I will.
I have the utmost confidence in you, MM. Do not fail me.
You can count on me. What the hell is going on?
Oh, shit.
I'll just get this going. There, ready. We're all set. Now, to begin, tell me, what do you see?
I don't know.
Try this. Focus on your vision.